There's one date that arguably signifies the beginning of the end of the Second World War, the 6th of June 1944. That's when Operation Overlord began, the campaign to invade Nazi-occupied Europe. Then, as now, it was known as D-Day. Now, Portsmouth played a vital part in both the planning and execution of Operation Overlord. And today in the city there's a unique museum that charts that historic day. It's called the D-Day Museum, and today we're just going to take a look at a snapshot of some of the exhibits. For Operation Overlord to be a success, it was vital that the senior commanders back in Britain knew the exact situation of their forces over in France. And to achieve this, information was sent back from the beaches to Fort Southwick up on Portsdown Hill just north of Portsmouth. From there, it was all fed to the nearby manor house of Southwick House, and a map just exactly like this one behind me was put up there in one of the grand rooms. On it, Wrens and naval officers would plot the minute position of each individual force component. It was this way that the commanders knew exactly where their naval, air and land assets were at any given moment. There's a common misconception that D-Day was just all about the beach landings. In fact, airborne troops played a vital role. From midnight on D-Day itself, airborne troops were flown across France and dropped at strategic locations. They wanted to capture things like bridges, roads and canals. The strategy often employed gliders like this to get the troops onto the land with machines like jeeps. It was a success, but the cost in terms of human life was often high. Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau and Sword. They're the 5 beaches that were attacked by British, American and Commonwealth troops on the morning of June the 6th. For thousands upon thousands of Allied troops, their trip to the beaches would have been made in one of these. It's called a landing craft, and the example they've got here at the D-Day Museum would have been capable of carrying 36 fully laden troops. Just try and imagine it for a minute. You're packed on board this landing craft with your comrades. You know that when you hit land, you'll be facing the German machine guns. A truly nerve-wracking and terrifying time. You stand waiting, the front of the craft hits that beach, and the front part of the landing craft swings down. It's then that you have to make it to land. Many didn't, but of course it was this tactic that was in part a contributory factor towards the massive success of D-Day. April 1944, and something strange is happening here on the south coast. Camps like this one are being set up all over the region. Wooded areas are particularly popular. The New Forest, the Forest of Beer just north of Portsmouth. What are they for? Well, they're to house the amassing troops preparing for the push into Hitler's Europe. There really is so much to see at the D-Day Museum and Overlord embroidery. You really need to get yourself down here to see for yourself. It's open daily from 10 AM till 5 with last admissions at 4:30. It's your chance to see how your part of the world played a crucial role in the Second World War. Find out more, log on to their website www.portsmouthmuseums.co.uk.